Hello there, my name is Henry Smith from IamWealthyandRich.com. Thanks very much for joining me today for my video update. So what I'm talking about is wealth creation and action. Wealth creation and action is a daily process, about showing up every day mentally. So there's some kind of opportunities or businesses where you actually have to show up every day physically and do things physically to move the business forward. But there's also other opportunities or investments, for example, where you show up mentally. And so you don't actually have to do anything physically, you've got to show up mentally. And understand that it's day at a time, one day at a time. Even though it's a long term, if it would be a year, 4 years, 5 years, still 4 years, it still consists of one day at a time. Okay, so success is, a daily process, one day at a time. So I started this investment process, shall we say, the process, I would say, February 2020, last year, with no money and just a concept. But I had a mindset strategy, which I knew I had to work on, so I started working on that, and that I could afford to work on that. So even though I had no money, I could afford to work on the mindset strategy, which after a few months, 3-4 months, maybe 5 months, 3-4 months, I was able to accumulate and attract the money I needed to get into the investment side of things. And I got into the investment side of things in May 2020, and here we are a year later. But when I got into it, I was just doing it for myself. I wasn't even thinking of doing videos or a daily journal. So, but it wasn't until February the 1st this year I thought, this thing is going places. I should start documenting it. So I started documenting it on a spreadsheet, and sometime in the middle of February, I decided to start shooting videos, documenting it just for future case studies. Who knows what I'm going to use this for in the future? But it would be good to look back on different parts of the market, different parts of the investment cycle, and just see how the portfolio was growing. So I just track the portfolio numbers daily and record it, and that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing here today. So for those of you who are new to the channel, that's what it's all about. And then I talk about a few things. And then for those of you who have been following this series, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate that. So I'm going to share my screen now and just go to the spreadsheet. So here's the spreadsheet, which I started, as I said, on the 1st of February. At that time, from humble beginnings, a bit investment that was started in May last year, humble beginnings, it grew to 106,000. And then, I don't know why these arrows are here, but anyway, grew to 106,000, and it's been growing, continues to grow. So, what happens is that we've got three columns here. One is what we call the altcoin column. The altcoin column. This is the Bitcoin column, and which I don't really bother with, to be honest with you, in terms of updating it. And then we have the total, the overall total column. This is the most important column for me. This is the most important column for me. And on a daily basis, I put in the figures of how the portfolio has grown over the last day. And if it's grown over the last day positively, I'll color that in green. If it's gone backwards, in any way, we'll color that in red. So, green, green, red, as you can see. So we have lots of greens, 4 or 5 steps forward, and then, 2 steps back, 5 steps forward. And that's just the way the market goes. Come to understand that and accept that after some time. And we've had some long runs where it's gone forward for like 9 days, 8-9 days, and then it's come back for, a few days, and so on and so forth. So we'll have these long runs, and we have short runs and long runs, and so on and so forth. So here we are now today on the 16th of May. Yeah, the 16th of May, 2021. I'm going to update today's figures. So that yesterday's were down on the previous day, and that's okay. Because we understand that after every expansion comes a contraction, and therefore before the next expansion, there's got to be a contraction, and that contraction could be really good, because that means the expansion is going to be incredible. So today's date, I'm going to put today's date in there. It's the 16th of May. And I'm going to go to this page, is where I get my figures from, which comes in through a live feed here. And it goes multiplied by one of the asset groups, and then you get the final figure here. So this updates on the daily, on the every 10 minutes or so, and it's just recently updated. And so it consists of, this particular portfolio consists of one whole Bitcoin, which as you can see is 48,324 at the moment, dollars, and a selection of altcoins, which is our secret recipe, our secret sauce here. And this is the overall amount in green. And so that's it. And then this one here on the right hand side is the pounds equivalent. So this is what it is in pounds, GBP or Great Pound Sterling. Same portfolio, but just a pound equivalent. So one Bitcoin is worth 34,982 pounds at the moment. That's how much a Bitcoin is worth. Well, within the last 10 minutes anyway. So I will go and take this figure here, 219,899.95. Let's put the time in. That's the time. 219,899.95, I think. Let's see, was that 899.95 to 19? Perfect. And then the top. Oh no, I do that. I'm going to bring this down. See whether it's gone up or down yesterday. And it's gone up a little on yesterday, so that's nice. We'll color that green. That's a green. And then we come over here to the total figure, and I'm going to get that figure here. See, looks like it was a little down yesterday, but never mind. 268, 224, 2046, 268. Oh, as you can see, the figure has just changed. I was being slow. So I said it updates. I'm going to change this now. 220. I'm going to do it because I have to do it in real time, you see. So I better do it now. So 220, 103, 27. Change this now. 220, 103.27. 220, 103.27. That was at this time. Let's make sure we got that complete. 1855. Right. So this here, we will say 268, 424, 01, 268, 424, 01, 268, 424, 61. Let's see. 268, 424, 01. 01. Okay. We'll bring that down, and that was a little bit still behind. So that's just $7 under yesterday's figure. Well, we're going to leave that in red because it's less. This is minus as well. So we'll just bold this. This is minus. Oh yeah. Yesterday's one was 49. So we'll close that. So that's what we have today. You know, we basically, this figure here is almost just $7. It would have been in the green, $7 something. But never mind. Be in the green tomorrow, hopefully. We'll see. Let's save that. So yeah, so basically that's what I do really. You know, update the figures, talk about a few things. Really, all I can say today is, like I said, we have a mindset program to help you with your mindset that will help you, number one, keep the right mental equilibrium as you go through this process. Because there's one thing, this is an interesting thing. I wasn't fortunate, I wasn't part of the 2016, 2017 cycle. I wasn't part of that. I kind of observed it from a distance. I actually wasn't participating in that. It's easy to look back on the maps, on the charts of those things and watch it, you know, how it went up, and it's easy to look at back at what you know, I remember hearing one person said, it's one thing to look, you know, to theorize about it and look at the maps. It's another thing to live through it, to live through the ups and downs, and keep your mind constant, not saying, oh my goodness, what's happening? This is the end. Is this the end of Bitcoin? Is, you know, Bitcoin has crashed, Bitcoin has gone forward, oh, it's gone to the moon, or it's gone through the floorboards. Keeping a mental equilibrium in your mind, mental equilibrium, right? Equilibrium, stable, stability, balance. That's what some people call it, balance, right? That's where professional investors, the difference between professional investors and amateurs are. Amateurs run for the hills every time there's a contraction. Investors understand it's just part of the process, okay? And it's one thing to theorize about it, it's another thing to live through it and actually live through it every day and see it go up and down. But in the scheme of things, the investment's doing fantastic. Okay, when I got into Bitcoin, when I actually got into Bitcoin, Bitcoin actually wasn't part of the portfolio at all. Initially, it was just the altcoins. But I decided, you know what, I should get some Bitcoin. As I started to learn more about it, and I thought I should get some anyway, and I got it at $10,000. So 48,000, 49,000, all profits, all plus for me. You know, it went up to 50,000, went down to 48,000. I got it at 10,000, so it's all profit for me. But really knowing where Bitcoin is going in the future, this is exciting times. This 50 to 48,000, 49,000 is cheap compared to where it will be in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time. It's just, you will be talking to people about these kind of figures of today, 48,000. Remember when Bitcoin was 48, 49,000? And they won't even believe you. They will have to go and check the charts to make sure that Bitcoin was 48, because that would be too cheap. It's impossible, they will say. You know, it's like saying, you know, do you remember if a Rolls Royce was 20,000 pounds? Are you crazy? How can a Rolls Royce be 20,000? Once upon a time, it was, you know. So it's just the way things go, you know. And so there's a lot of exciting things ahead. You know, I was looking through some films in different eras, you know, and you look at some films of the 70s and in the 70s, and they didn't have any computers, they didn't have any mobile phones, they had to use a telephone box, you know, and there was certainly, you know, they didn't forget about what we have today. I looked at some films of the 80s, and there was hardly any, I don't think any mobile phones, barely a computer, big ugly thing, but no serious computer. And I thought, these guys, they have no idea what's coming. And then looked at films in the 90s even, they had computers. And even, you know, some of them had some big phones, you know. And then I looked at some films in the 2000s. Yesterday I was watching, for some reason on my TV channel, they put in, I only watched a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, Fast and Furious series. All of them, well, most of them, yeah, all of them. And they were meant to go all night, but I discovered it late, and I watched the first 2, the first one and then the second one. First one was like 2000, and those guys, and that was supposed to be really hip and fashionable and trendy, and you know, and I was saying, you know, that there was no crypto in those days. There's no crypto, you know. The internet had taken off, obviously, and in fact, looking in the 70s films and 80s films, there was no internet. It was quite interesting, you know, no internet. Like, how are people communicating? Do certain things. If you were to go back to them and say, there's going to be an internet there. Into what? Into what? You know? And back in the Fast and Furious, there was no, yeah, they had mobile phones. I think they had internet. They had internet, yeah. But I was thinking those guys, no crypto. And it looked pretty modern, but it was no crypto in those days. And even the second one, I think it was 2009, crypto was just started that year, 2009. You know, if it would have gone back into those days and saying crypto, they would have thought you were crazy. You know, but funny enough, we're going to look back at this time in the 20s, 2021, 2020, 2021, and realize, you know, when you see crypto or how far it's gone. But we're in an exciting time. what I'm trying to say. This is an exciting time. The next 10 years are going to be exciting, phenomenal. And there's going to be challenges, but those challenges will be overcome. You understand? They'll be overcome. And you'll be glad if you have got into the crypto space, you'll be glad that you have in 10 years' time. If you're sitting on the sidelines, you're going to be regretting it big time. Because this is the internet 3.0. This is the new internet, in case you don't know. The technologies that have been developed now are just phenomenal. And to be an early investor in such technology well, you're going to look forward, your children and grandchildren will thank you. Otherwise, they'll probably curse you and say, why didn't you invest in it? You knew it was around and you didn't do it. But anyway, that's your choice, your decision, your choice, your life, okay? But just understand, great times are ahead, and the daily hiccups and ups and downs of the markets are irrelevant. They're just teething problems, part of the process of growth as the market goes up. Part of the process, okay? They will mean nothing. And when you look back in 10 years' time, like I said, people won't believe you when you tell them that Bitcoin was 40-something or 50-something K. So if you haven't bought it at 50-something K, and not that you have to buy a whole one. Remember, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin, you buy a fraction, or invest in other cryptocurrencies. And by the way, if you want to find out more about investing, like I said, we've got a great, I was supposed to do this disclaimer. I didn't do the disclaimer at the beginning, so I better do it now. I'm not a financial planner, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a CPA, and I'm not regulated. And what am I not? Yeah, we understand that investments, all investments do carry risks. I'll begin to say this, okay? So don't invest more than you can afford, more than you can afford to lose, okay? So that's important for me to say that. Regardless of how wonderful the future is. The future is wonderful, it's great, but don't be reckless and don't jump in blindly, okay? You know, we don't jump in blindly, everything is calculated. So there are risks, and our risks are calculated risks, and we're prepared, willing to take those risks. Simple as that. But there are risks. But I can't say I'm not going to do anything because there's a risk. It's just, you know, the risk to me is very, very small. So I'm happy to take it. But don't go and bet your house or your children's college education fund on it, or something like that. Just take it easy. But you don't have to, because we're in a wonderful time at the moment where even a small investment is going to grow dramatically. You see, in the future, talking about like 10 years from now, to make millions, you will need millions. You will need millions. And that's why you say, oh, we can't get into this. Only the rich can do it because they've got millions already. There's the other people who can make money. 1,000 will do it, anything for you in 10 years' time, 13 years' time, 12 years' time, and so on. But right now, with a small amount, you can make a large amount. It's called an asymmetric investment, or an asymmetric bet. With a small amount, you can make a large amount at the moment. That's where you need to take advantage now. Anyway, first things first, you need to start with going to my website, IamWealthyandRich.com, and downloading a free training. I'm just going to show you the website. This website here, IamWealthyandRich.com, how to understand the game of money and play it well. This is your first step. You come down here and you go to this form here and to get your mindset, millionaire mindset and investment strategy for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Put your details in there. I'll send it to you straight away. Work on the mindset part of things, and then work on the investment strategy, the basic investment strategy. And then if you want to find out more about more advanced investment strategies, contact us, and then we'll get you on one of our webinars, and then you can get into the advanced stuff as well before it's too late. So, and you can come back and watch some of my videos as well. I put videos of other people as well. So what I want to do is, first of all, ask you to please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that this video can get out there. And the second thing, I want to do is want to thank you very much for your attention. Thanks for watching this video. Really appreciate your time. And do come back and watch the next one. I do appreciate it. I want to wish you a wonderful and fantastic, prosperous, successful day. And like I said, see you in the next video. Bye for now.